quality content quickly. This is what XDefiant has to do in order to truly compete when the game launches later this summer. This is a very competitive landscape that we have here in terms of multiplayer shooters and really just gaming in general, but especially for a brand new IP trying to get into the shooter scene. There is a lot of competition out there. Hey, by the way, thank you for stopping by the channel today. I appreciate it. My name is Buckeye, and welcome to XDefiant Guides. If you want to check out more content from myself, check out the link in the description to go over to my YouTube channel where I make even more XDefiant content. Now, at launch, XDefiant is going to give us 10 arena maps and 4 progression maps. Of course, the progression maps are for the modes such as zone control as well as escort. The 10 arena maps will be probably the main crux of the multiplayer experience in XDefiant. We're also getting 24 weapons at launch with 44 attachments, 5 factions, and 5 modes, 3 of them being arena and 2 of them being progression. Now, looking into year 1, the content that they have already promised that we're going to get, they say that we're going to receive 3 maps, 3 weapons, and a new faction every single season. And on top of that, those seasons are going to follow a 3-month cadence. So every 3 months will be a brand new season. In the first 12 months of the game, in the first year, we're going to get 12 new maps and 12 new guns. Now, to me, that sounds pretty good. And I'll go into why here shortly, but that sounds pretty good. Among that, we're also going to get a prestige system post-launch. We're going to be getting ranked play, private matches, caster cams, along with, in addition to that, more modes for both arena and progression. Search and Destroy has already been confirmed by Mark Rubin on Twitter to be slated currently for Season 1 or Season 2. So that's a early snapshot at what we would be looking at for an additional game mode coming after launch. Now, how does that stack up to some other multiplayer shooter games that have released in the past and how their content schedule was? Well, let's look at the last time Ubisoft released a shooter like this, a specific PvP-based multiplayer shooter. Last time they did that was Rainbow Six Siege, all the way back in 2015. Now, when that game launched, it was $40, okay? But all of its post-launch content was free. So it launched at $40 with 11 maps and 5 modes. In the first year of content, they released 4 new maps, 4 new weapons, and 4 new operators. Now, Rainbow Six Siege is known for not having the most strong launch, but really over consistent delivery of content from Ubisoft Montreal, it developed a really large fan base over the coming years. First year, the game peaked at 16,000 players in December of 2015 on Steam. Then, in February of 2021, they peaked at 199,000 players on Steam. Again, consistent content from the developer, continuously putting it out and getting it into people's hands. That is a success story from a game that did not launch well, was stuck to, and turned into something really, really great. Now let's look at another more recent shooter that released. Halo Infinite came out in November of 2021, and everyone had high expectations for this game going into it, thinking that this would potentially be the COD killer. Pretty much the last time we kind of heard that phrase thrown around about a shooter game was Halo Infinite. If you know anything about multiplayer games recently, you probably know the story of Halo Infinite, but I'll briefly summarize it for you here. It launched with 7 4v4 maps and 3 big team battle maps. It launched with Season 1, which was free. The game itself is free, and it peaked at 256,000 players in November of 2021 on Steam. Now, the Season 1 came with a battle pass, events, limited playlists, and cosmetics. A lot of the things that came in Season 1 were things that should have been on launch or were not that significant. If you ever played that game during that time frame, you know what I'm talking about. Season 4 just came out literally a few days ago, here in June of 2023, peaking at 8,000 players on Steam. And this whole season is themed around Infection, which is a huge game mode from the Halo universe that typically has launched with their games. And then, of course, another battle pass and more events with Season 4. That's Halo Infinite, and how they have done post-launch content for free-to-play shooter that was deemed supposed to be maybe the COD killer when it released in November of 2021. Now, talking about Call of Duty, let's go straight to the source. Modern Warfare 2 is the most recent entry in the Call of Duty franchise. There's a lot of people who like it, and there's a lot of people who have a lot of issues with it. And if you are a 6v6 player, chances are you have definitely heard of people having their gripes with Modern Warfare 2 in this current year. So let's talk about that. The game launches at $70. Full price for Modern Warfare 2 is $70. It launched on October 28th of 2022. Season 1 came out November 16th, a little bit after the launch of the game. Season 2 came out February 15th of 2023. Season 3 came out April 12th, 2023. Season 4 just came out a few days ago, June 14th, 2023. So those are all kind of some similar games to what we're talking about here and their post-launch content. Now, as you can see, frankly, it looks like the game here that has the most content that has come out post-launch is Modern Warfare 2. That's the game that we're trying to reach, right? Call of Duty is the most popular arena-style shooter game on the market, period. It just is. So we're trying to strive for excellence, right? We're trying to strive to meet that level of popularity, if you will. And just basing it off of what they've already said, XDefiant is supposed to receive post-launch 12 maps, 12 guns, more modes. I mean, it sounds pretty good. It sounds like we've got a good head on our shoulders moving forward. Question is, can the game keep up? Everybody, for the most part, that has played XDefiant through the open beta session and the closed beta sessions and the insider sessions has said that the game feels really, really good. It's a really fun game to play. The main concern with the game was, can it survive without a battle royale? Well, speaking of battle royale, speaking of competition, these are the games that XDefiant is going to be going head-to-head with in order for people's attention online and in the gaming space. In terms of direct competitors, we're looking at Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield 2042, Destiny 2, and Overwatch 2. These are sort of the main popular games in the similar genre that are out right now. Then if we're to look at the most popular games in general, let's look at Battle Royales. We're looking at Fortnite, Apex Legends, and PUBG. Now let's take a look at the other style shooters, the tactical shooters. We've got Counter-Strike, which is about to release Counter-Strike 2 here this summer, Valorant, and Rainbow Six Siege. There's a lot of games out there that are shooters that are vying for people's attention. This is not the day of 2007 when there was basically, what, 2, 3 big shooters out on the market? No, there are a lot of shooters that are vying for your attention, and XDefiant has to do something to grab people's attention to keep the game going longer. It looks like they've got a good head on their shoulders and a good plan to start. Question is, how will they execute? That's what I'm really curious to see what happens with XDefiant. What will Ubisoft San Francisco do? Now, one really cool thing is that because this game is a Ubisoft game, they are taking inspiration from all of their franchises and putting them into XDefiant, which brings up an opportunity for some really cool content later down the line. Can they do events promoting their new Ubisoft games? Can they do a crazy crossover with Assassin's Creed? The Division? I mean, the sky's the limit with that. And I'll tell you what, that's a topic for future videos. So if you want to hear some thoughts about that, whew, it's a spicy one, definitely subscribe. Do me a favor and hit that like button. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think XDefiant needs to do to succeed in the shooter landscape here in 2023? Check out my personal YouTube channel, link in the description, for more XDefiant content just like this. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I'll see you in the next one.